An Oscar win so shocking they cut the speech short. A Marvel secret that might have just been spoiled by a Lego set, and a beloved star's voice brought back from the impossible. We're breaking down the 3 stories that you need to know about from this week in entertainment. Okay, let's start with the 98th Academy Awards, because the biggest story wasn't a frontrunner, it was a full-on shockwave. Against all odds, the fan-favorite track from KPopDemonHunters took home the Oscar for Best Original Song. I mean, it beat out absolute heavy hitters like Nick Cave and Bryce Dessner. But as this headline from Rolling Stone makes painfully clear, the celebration was cut short, leaving what should have been a moment of pure triumph feeling, well, pretty controversial.
Now, while that win completely stunned the crowd, the rest of the night, some major players took home the gold pretty much as expected. MichaelBJordan finally got his Oscar for the powerhouse film Sinners, which, you'll remember, he also directed with Ryan Coogler. And in a moment that was so long overdue for the horror genre, the incredible Amy Madigan won for her role in Weapons.
And just to give you a sense of how completely dominant Sinners was this award season, the film walked into the night with a record-shattering 16 nominations. It was the film to beat, and boy, did it deliver.
So, from Hollywood's biggest night, we're going to pivot to its biggest and definitely most secretive universe. While the Oscars are all about celebrating what's already been done, Marvel is deep in the trenches planning what's next. And this week, we got some major clues and one big rumor debunking.
For months, the rumor mill has been churning, saying that Invincible star Steven Yeun was being looked at for a role in the new Spider-Man Brand New Day. Well, Yeun himself just put those rumors to bed. With this quote, he basically said, nope, not happening. But he also made it pretty clear that if the call came, he would be very, very interested.
And look, this isn't the first time Yeun has been this close to joining the MCU. He was actually officially cast as the ridiculously powerful character Sentry in Thunderbolts. But then the industry strikes happened, scheduling conflicts forced him to drop out, and the role went to Louis Pullman. So yeah, the Spider-Man rumor is dead, but it's obvious Yeun is still very much on Marvel's radar.
So, with the Spider-Man door seemingly closed for now, another mystery has creaked wide open. And the clue didn't come from some Hollywood insider. It came from a toy leak that might signal a huge reversal for the future of the MCU.
Okay, so stick with me here. In last year's Thunderbolts movie, we learned that Valentina Allegra de Fontaine had bought the iconic Avengers Tower and renamed it Watchtower to be the HQ for her new team. But a new Lego set for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday is listed as Avengers Tower. So what's going on? Has Marvel changed its mind? The big theory right now is that to make her team seem legit, to make them seem like the new Avengers, Val may have actually rebranded the building back to its original, more heroic name.
All right, let's step away from the big screen because television delivered some of the most powerful and emotional moments of the entire week. There were 2 scenes in particular that had absolutely everyone talking, as characters revealed their deepest truths and, in one case, said their final goodbyes.
On Law & Order SVU, the whole case came down to getting a traumatized young man to open up. And to build that trust, Detective Terry Bruno did something you just never see. He revealed his own past as a survivor of sexual assault. It was this raw, incredibly vulnerable confession that not only cracked the case wide open, but showed this powerful, unexpected new side to his character.
And then over on Doc, a secret that's been building all season finally came to a head. Dr. Joan Ridley, who had been hiding a private health issue that she knew could end her career, was exposed. But instead of disgrace, she got to perform one last life-saving surgery on a close friend and retire her scalpel with all the dignity and respect she'd earned over a lifetime. It was a truly beautiful swan song for the character.
And finally, we're going to turn to a story that is it's both deeply tragic and somehow incredibly hopeful. It's about the loss of a beloved actor and the remarkable technology that's making sure his voice and his memory will never truly fade away.
These are the words of Rebecca Gayheart Dane, talking about her late husband, Grey's Anatomy star Eric Dane, who recently passed away after a battle with ALS. She describes the absolute pain of watching him lose his ability to speak, which was so central to his witty, vibrant personality.
Eric Dane was just 53 years old. A life and a truly tremendous talent just cut tragically short, reminding all of us of the devastating toll of this disease.
So what exactly is ALS? Well, it's a disease that attacks the nerves in the brain and the spinal cord. It progressively and cruelly robs a person of their ability to control their muscles, which affects how they walk, how they breathe, and, as in Eric's case, how they speak.
But here's where this story takes an incredible turn. His widow is now working with an AI company called ElevenLabs to create a synthetic replica of Eric Dane's voice. This technology, it represents a whole new frontier. It's going to allow his family and his 2 young daughters to hear their father's voice for the rest of their lives.
So you've got an Oscar shock, a Marvel mystery, and a story of love and loss being completely transformed by technology. At a glance, they feel totally disconnected, right? But when you step back, they actually paint a fascinating picture of where we are right now.
When you connect the dots, it all becomes clear. This week showed us that even on Hollywood's biggest stage, the underdog can still have their day. It proved that these superhero stories have become our modern myths, things we endlessly debate and obsess over. And most profoundly, the story of Eric Dane showed us how technology is becoming a partner in how we grieve, how we remember, and how we love.
So that leaves us with one last question. What will this year be remembered for? Will it be the underdog who won against all odds, the superhero mystery that kept us guessing, or the moment AI technology changed the very nature of saying goodbye? Which of these stories do you think we'll still be talking about years from now?